Hey everybody, welcome back to the latest episode of Dream Car Driveways. Today you join me with Darren and his fantastic DC5 Integra. Thank you for taking the time to come and have a conversation with me today, Darren. So, tell us a little bit about the car. It's a cracking looking motor, mate.
So yeah, this is my 2001 DC5 Integra. I've had it for just over 7 years now. It's one of my favourite cars from when I was younger, when I got into Hondas. So for me, this was one of the dreams that I could achieve. And I've now had it for, like I say, 7 years and still enjoying it. A couple of modifications over the years to make it more personalised to myself. And yeah, still enjoying it.
Excellent. So what have you done to it over the years then, Dan? 7 years is a fairly lengthy time to own a car.
Yeah, like I said, the longest I've ever owned a car. Normally I'm chopping and changing quite regularly. So for me, this is like a labour of love. So just modification-wise, as you can see, it's got SSR Type C wheels.
Lovely wheels on them, yeah. Are they fairly lightweight?
Very, yeah. I think they're only about 6 or 7 kilos
Wow, okay.
on their own. So yeah, pretty light tire wheels and tire combo.
Are they forged as well?
No idea.
Right.
But yeah, very light wheels. They're very strong and well known in the JDM world, you know. Coilovers, it's running Meister or coilovers. So yeah, pretty new. Just had them on about a year or so. For me, a good balance, a bit of comfort and a bit of sort of handling, and finishes off the look better. You know, I think it gives a nice stance. It's running a RRC inlet manifold, which is just a bigger manifold from an FD2. Integra induction kit, just for a bit of extra noise and wow factor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pretty quiet because I was running the standard airbox prior.
Right, okay.
So that was just for the bit of more motion effective for the video as well. And it's got a Toda catback exhaust system. So again, my friend used to have one on his EP3 many years ago. And when I got the opportunity to buy one, I says, I'm all over that. And I got it for a really good price, so I can't really grumble. And it's also the Dolphin tip, which is quite rare.
Nice, okay.
I think they stopped making them many years ago.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives that sort of exclusivity.
It was 2001 to 2006 that these were released. In 2004 is when they brought in the facelift. This is a pre-facelift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the aftermarket part still fairly readily available?
Yeah, there's still some parts you can get from Japan. Some of the parts are quite interchangeable with sort of the UK Hondas, EP3s and so forth. So some of the parts are fine. Some of them are a bit more difficult to get hold of.
Okay.
You know, some body panels are quite tricky to get hold of.
Right. Yeah,
Overall, you can still pick up some modification parts from Japan and bring them over here.
That's good, man.
At the cost.
And of course, this being an import, this is a K20A rather than the K20 engines that we have in ours. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
What's the main differences between the two?
So the main difference is light and flywheels, cams, and sort of just being an overall slightly better engine overall. Don't want to upset too many EP3 boys, but no, it is obviously classed as one of the better engines out of the two, but they're both really similar. You know?
Yeah.
I've had the EP3 as I mentioned before, and I enjoyed that just as much as us.
Excellent. How do the two compare from a sort of driver's perspective?
Overall, I just think the DC5 does everything just a little bit better. So for example, brakes, steering, the engine, the gear ratios on the gearbox as well. That changes everything as well. So personally for me, everything is just that little bit better. So brakes, seats, engine, handling, the look, it's just everything's slightly better.
Yeah. What sort of potential reliability issues? Obviously, Hondas are typically renowned for being fairly bulletproof, but is there anything in particular that people need to be aware of when they're looking to buy a DC5?
With DC5s, they're pretty solid, to be honest with you. I've had it, like I say, 7 years and I've never had any issues. I think the only thing that has gone on it is the alternator.
Okay.
But again, being 24 years old now, kind of expected some of these parts to go, and I'm happy that's all I've had to do in 7 years, really.
Yeah.
Looking out for, obviously, people running them on the limit all the time is obviously never great, but just keep on top of your oil. That's all I've ever done with servicing and oil.
And that's it. As long as you look after them, they'll look after you, eh?
100%.
Yeah. Typically, with it being an import, rust can be a bit of an issue with any Honda really, but specifically the imports. Where's the main areas of rust that you would be sort of looking out for again if you were looking to buy one of these?
If I was looking for a DC5, it's always the rear arches. A lot of people look at it and go, oh, it looks fine, but the best place to really check it is when you open up the speaker pocket at the back. Mm-hmm. Very easy to do, a couple of screws, look down into the wheel arch, and you can see that if there's anything starting, because that's where it tends to start from the inside. And by the time it gets anywhere near the outside, that's when it's kind of too late. Other than that, sometimes people have leaks in the boot with the foam seals on the rear of the lights. I've, touch wood, not had any issues.
Yeah, I've heard that. Likewise, the chassis legs in the front can potentially pull water and stuff as well, can't they?
Again, mine's a bit of a pillow princess as well. It stays inside. It doesn't have any. It doesn't get to the elements as often as other cars in the UK. But yeah, it's a touch wood for me. Nothing, no rust on the car whatsoever, and no leaky seals and no rust anywhere on this car. So I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah, well, certainly with it being a 24-year-old, you wouldn't guess that it's a 24-year-old car. It's immaculate. The paint job's really, really clean on it. As you say, everything's very straight. I've not seen a single bit of rust anywhere, so you can definitely tell that it's been well looked after. And obviously, with it being 24 years old, it's a pre-facelift. What is the main differences between a pre-facelift and a facelift car?
So the main differences are the front bumper lights, the rear bumper and rear lights, and different cluster. It's a bit more of a modern cluster than the pre-facelifts.
Right, okay.
They've got a couple of differences, like the strut brace is slightly different on the facelift compared to the pre-facelift. Overall, very, very similar, other than those few sort of differences.
Excellent, fantastic. Right, well, while the weather's nice, will we hit the road and see what it's like?
Sounds good to me, mate. Perfect.
Let's do it. Nice one. Right guys, this is us out in Darren's DC5, and what a place to be. You know what, the inside of this place is absolutely immaculate, Darren. You've clearly kept a good look after this car. The seats are something else, aren't they?
It's one of the favourite standard things of the car. Getting a bit curvy for them now, but overall still fitting in just about. But yeah, really enjoy the comfort of the seat. The seating position's really good. I like everything sort of more driver focused with the dashboard and so forth. Overall, one of my favourite places to be.
It's absolutely, do you know what, it just has the bare minimum of things that you need. I see you've got an aftermarket unit there, but even then, the dials are exactly where you need to be. There's not any extra stuff that you don't really need that distracts you from driving the car, eh?
Exactly, yeah. Old school, no traction control, no buttons, no electronics, etc. Just what you need. 24 years on, it's still working.
Perfect, yeah. So with it not having any of those sort of nanny aids, how do you find the car handles?
I find it tells you what you want to give it, if that makes sense.
Quite communicative then, yeah.
Everything's kind of, it feeds everything back to you so much that it's quite easy to control and manage, and it's not a huge amount of power either, so thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, that's fantastic, especially consider this is a front-wheel drive car, but it's one of the most composed, if not some would argue the most composed front-wheel drive car out there, going by how the chassis and everything handles.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people appreciate what it does. Obviously, it's in a bit of a shadow of the old DC2, just for that double wishbone suspension that the DC2 has.
Is that the main difference between the two?
Pretty much, yeah. This is McPherson struts and so forth. So
a bit of a step back then.
Some would say.
Mechanically, yeah.
I think I've driven both. I really enjoyed driving the DC2 as well, to be fair. For me, if I had DC5 looks with the DC2 suspension, I'd probably say it could be one of the best all-rounders.
Okay.
Subjective to some people, they might disagree, because the DC2 is a beautiful car. I do love them as well. But for me, the DC5, just even 24 years on, still looks new.
I would guess that this is first released in 2001. Going by the interior, yes, ever so slightly. It's got that sort of early noughties plastics here and there, but again, you don't stare at the interior when you're sitting driving a car, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's functional over form.
100%, yeah. For me, I'm just looking at the road and just enjoying a bit of VTEC.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely inside cheaper JDM plastics, but yeah, on the outside I still think it looks really good for its age. Yeah, nice wee old thing.
Nice. Yeah, no, and it sounds fantastic. That induction kit that you've added on to it just makes it sound so much better. You were saying earlier on it was a bit muted before that you added this.
Correct, yeah. I was running the standard airbox. I tried a few different airboxes, but with the RRC inlet manifold, it changes the angle of the throttle body. And I found that when I was trying to fit airboxes into the standard position, it became quite difficult and it wasn't fitting great.
Right, okay.
So I played around with the Mugen airbox. Obviously that didn't really work as well as I'd hoped. Then went to stock, that seemed to work fine with a silicone hose. Ideally I'd like to do a 3 inches of velocity stack type induction kit.
Okay.
That seems to be the one that gives you the best overall gains. But it means potentially relocating the battery, which I'm don't know if I can bother with.
Be a field what would have to stick it in the boot.
But there's a location that if you get a smaller lithium battery, you can drop it down to a lower part of the subframe. But I don't really need it.
It's a lot of work for an air.
Correct.
Kit, isn't it? Yeah.
So I bought this for the, like I say, for the videos of EE, sort of spice things up a bit.
But considering that you have to also cut the scuttle panel to fit an aftermarket induction kit, there's only so much work you're willing to put in just for a little bit of induction noise. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they're like hen's teeth, so cutting into my standard one would not have been on the agenda. But for me, luckily, when I bought it came with the cut one, and to be fair, it was a really good job because I have seen some in the past that have been sort of butchered just to make it all fit.
Yeah, it does look like it's a nice clean job, and I like the fact that you can actually see it protruding up above the bonnet there, just out of the window.
Yeah, the script does make it look give it a little bit wow factor from the inside of the car, and when you see it from the outside as well.
And do you know what, actually, I thought that the ride was going to be a little bit crashier. It's not actually too bad, especially considering you have updated the suspension on it. How does it handle in the corners?
It's pretty good. Obviously, with, like I say, with the LSD and low and a bit of bump steer, it can be a bit pulley in some instances. But overall, if you put the effort in to kind of control it, manage the gears, etc., and the acceleration, and put it where you want it, it rewards you quite well.
But that's half the fun, really, isn't it? Is
involvement,
feeling involved. Okay, I take it back. It's maybe a little bit crashy. That bump's a bastard. I remember hitting that up with Brian as well.
Can't come down nowhere.
But no, I would imagine that it just holds the road so well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of feedback compared to like sort of more modern cars and German things and so on.
Yeah. And as you say, it just adds to the engagement with the car, doesn't it? If you're having to fight it a little bit, you're more engaged with the car. You're having to do more to control it, and it just feels like if something happens, you're the one that's in control about it, and it just gives you that extra bit of drive and involvement, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't drive for you. You've got to do the driving for it, to get it back. Whereas a lot of new cars, you put it in drive, it's automatic and it's comfortable, and the steering's
all the electronic aids just take over, doesn't it?
Whereas this kind of, you feel, as you can tell, you can feel everything through the steering wheel, through the suspension. When I say through your bum as well, kind of almost sitting quite low in the recorder seats.
It's quite low. You've got to kind of pivot your arse up and over into them, don't you? Because the last thing you want to do is ruin these big thick bolsters, which is quite common, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, you can still get some of the parts for it. I need to do mine. It's not terrible, but I've seen them replaced. It's a night and day difference. And luckily, you can still get the black material for these.
This is Alcantara, right?
Correct, yeah. Whereas the blue ones you can't anymore. So unfortunately, if you've got the blue Recordas, you're kind of stuck with the material you've got unless you go full retrim,
Yeah. Which is a bold step ultimately, isn't it? You're losing that sort of originality at that point unless you're getting an almost colour perfect bit of fabric to replace it.
Exactly, yeah.
So we were talking earlier on, it's hydraulic steering that's in this. That'll just add to that visceral feeling of keeping in control of the car, eh?
Exactly. You can actually sort of, where you put the steering wheel, the car tends to go. So it's a great sort of feedback. And one thing I kind of noticed when I had like my EP3 before, going from that after 4 years of ownership to this, it is a little bit heavier.
Okay.
But that adds to the feedback, and you're sort of pushing harder bends and so forth.
How much does the car weigh?
I think they're around about 1240 or 1260 standard.
Not a lot, really, isn't it?
So it's not too bad compared to modern cars, but some people would say you can get lighter. Obviously, the EGs and the EKs are a lot lighter,
but there's a lot less in them, isn't
there? Yeah, exactly. And this has got a little more power, so power to weight ratios are probably not far off,
Yeah, so standard they're about 220 brake horsepower. You've done a little bit to this. What's yours now pumping out?
Yeah, mine's about 230 just now.
Okay,
so not crazy. The main reason why I didn't make sort of numbers is more power was I was running my standard airbox, which obviously limits the airflow in. And with, as mentioned earlier, the total exhaust, it's a really thin section. So obviously the mapper was advising, obviously, if I want to get more power, upgrade the airbox. Look at changing the exhaust to a 3-inch system. The only reason why I haven't gone for the 3-inch system is purely based on the fact that 9 times out of 10 they drone on the motorway.
Yeah. And
I'm kind of maybe at that age where I'm past the drone. I'd rather have less power, maybe 10 horsepower, but I can enjoy it on the motor without my ears bleeding.
It's about balance, isn't it? It's about having that usability, but being able to know that you've got a little bit of noise, a little bit of theatrics when you push it a little bit harder. And yeah, having that balance of not having your ears bleeding on the motorway makes all the difference.
Exactly, yeah. So for me, I had to find the balance, and for me, this was the balance. I've got a 421 manifold as well, as mentioned, RRC inlet manifold, and the airbox. So yeah, you know, around the 230 mark, which I think is okay for the car. I mean, obviously everyone always wants more power, but I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it as it is.
And what about miles per gallon? How does this push?
To be honest with you, if you drove it on the motorway at 65, you could easily get 400 miles to the tank.
Okay.
Because I drove down to JabFest a few years ago, and I got there just slightly over half the tank.
Right. Okay.
That was about 230 miles, give or take.
It's not too bad, man.
So if you drive it sensibly, you can actually get some really good miles. I mean, you can use it as a daily, because obviously you've got the two cams. So if you keep on the low cam, you're just driving like a normal 2-litre engine car, effectively.
Yeah. On that note, how is the VTEC?
Love it. Good smiles on my face still. I've had 11 years of Hondas, and I still get a smile on my face when you get that VTEC sort of push into your seat, and the noise and the feeling. And obviously, a lot of people knock VTEC and Hondas and stuff, but for me, don't knock it until you've sort of tried it effectively.
Well, I am looking forward to trying it. The closest comparison I have experienced is the variable valve timing and lift system in the Corolla Integra T-Sports, and it's not quite the same, is it?
For me, I had one as well, so I can compare. And when we had an EP3 at the time, I had the Corolla T-Sport, and it was just never as fast.
You're chasing it, aren't you? There's nothing happens until you hit about 6, 8, 7,000 RPM, and then you get that very short blip of insanity, and then you're changing gear again, aren't you?
Exactly. With this being mapped, as we mentioned earlier, they've brought obviously VTEC down and higher up as well, so it gives you a much bigger power band.
A bit more linear then, you're not having to chase it as much and it's coming down a little bit earlier then, yeah?
Correct, yeah. You know, so and it's just the perfect spot for not being in a VTEC, obviously, when you're on the motorway, because there'd be nothing worse than sitting on the motorway and just not a VTEC, so...
Exactly. Where does it sort of sit RPM-wise when you get to sort of motorway speeds?
Around about 3.5.
Here I am in the driver's seat, and just, the noise from this thing, and that short shifter there, Darren, just feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite mods. The stock shifter starts to get a bit sloppy over the years and the plastic and the bushes, but the Q80 shifter is probably one of my favourite upgrades.
Is it fifth? Is it 6 gears?
6 gears, yeah. It takes a bit to get used to. This is actually on the longest gate through, so like it's as far apart as you can get it almost.
Right, okay.
Because I originally had it right in the middle, which was like medium throw, medium gate, etc. But it was like it just was too rubbish.
Yeah, they're quite close together, aren't they?
It's close enough as it is, and even on that, for me, is like as close as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it, it's very rewarding because it's like a bolt action rifle when it goes in. You know, when you get
it definitely feels there's a nice throw to it. It feels very mechanical almost.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a beautiful piece as well to look at. Unfortunately, I've covered it with the Gaia because I like the OEM Plus kind of vibe. But it is a nice piece to look at as well.
Excellent. And yeah, as we were talking about earlier on, the steering is so precise, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Again, it's how much you put into it, how much you get out of it and stuff, you know. So, and for me, that's kind of why I've kept the car so long as well. One of the things is how it drives, and obviously how it looks.
It looks fantastic. Yeah, that championship white paint job that you've got on it just really makes it stand out, doesn't it?
But yeah, no, it's definitely a good thing to sort of experience and drive. Obviously, you can still feel bumps and stuff. It's not on the hardest setting, but it's not on the softest setting on the coilovers because they're, I think, they're 32 or 34 way adjustables.
But the thing is, with a car like this, is that you're willing to compromise ride quality for the driving feel, aren't you?
Exactly. And I don't drive it every day. It's not a daily driver. So for me, if it feels a bit bumpy for a couple hours a week or a few weeks, I can suck it up and enjoy it.
Yeah, and at least that point, you know that when you are going to be driving it, you're going to go out and have fun in it. You're going to feel involved and engaged, as we were talking about earlier on, eh?
Exactly. No, it's it's good fun. That's why it only does a couple thousand, 2,000-3,000 miles a year, but it's
That's not bad.
two or three hard thousand miles.
Well, again, that's the beauty of the K20, isn't it? Is that it's a fairly robust and bulletproof engine that's in these, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I had the EP3 before, and 7 years of this and 4 years of that, so 11 years of Honda, never ever had this issue, and they've both taken a good beating over the years in Mexico.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, I've got some poly bushes. Because it's running the 421 manifold, if you don't run some poly bushes, they tend to break.
Right, okay.
So I've had to sacrifice a bit of comfort. I always tend to go for the Mugen bushes, which are a bit like sort of OEM Plus again. By the time, it was tricky to get them like when I needed them, so I went straight for the poly bushes.
Right.
And that's where you can feel a bit more vibrations through the steering wheel, your feet, etc. Makes it feel a bit more race car. If I was a daily driver, I would probably take them off. But
on the note of that, have you ever tracked it?
I haven't. I tried to get on the track at Donington and Jam Fest, as mentioned a few years ago, but I missed the cut-off for it showing for the track, so I was a bit gutted because I would like to really get on the track and see what it's like, but I'm also don't know how good my talent is on the track.
Well, I took the 996 around Knock Hill, and I drove it like an old lady the whole time, purely because I was just conscious of the fact that it was a bit older and whatnot. But I would definitely recommend, if you do ever get the opportunity to do it, because it just allows you to get just a little bit of a better understanding of what the car's capable of, and I bet this would just be phenomenal on the track.
Yeah, it's also running semi-slick tyres, so I think it's kind of halfway there. It's got the coilovers, it's got the suspension, it's got the tyres, it's got a bit of extra power, so it's got a bit of everything, you know?
Yeah. Do you mind if I experience VTEC?
Oh, just drop it down.
I'll wait till we're around this corner a little bit.
Don't be making sure you drop down those gears, you know?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You're so right about having to fight with it a little bit, eh?
Oh. The old coilovers and the LSD definitely kicks in.
What a noise, what just a visceral experience this is, man. It just adds to that whole experience of driving the car. You feel so involved with it, man. It's absolutely incredible. And that gearbox, you're so right, that short shift is just absolutely like a bolt action rifle. It's fantastic.
Once you get used to it, it's really good. It takes a bit to get used to, but once you're there, it's perfect, you know?
And it is just so poised throughout the corners. 60 miles an hour there. It just has zero hesitation of getting around these corners, and that noise when you shift down, it's just unreal, isn't it?
Send it.
You do have to battle with it though, wow.
Especially with the uneven road as well. It really does surprise you a bit.
It does a bit, man, yeah. I actually didn't expect it to be that much of a battle. It's a bit white knuckle at times, I would imagine, eh?
Again, once you get used to it, it's good.
I was going to say that. You'll be aware.
This is your first VTEC experience.
Oh, I've done it again. Told you I would do that.
Luckily, it's not raining. But no, it's a good fun. It's fun. And it feels weird because I've never let anyone drive this car before.
Oh wow, well I appreciate you letting me be the first, mate. Thank you very much.
Sometimes you got to let it go.
Yeah, I was like that in the Porsche as well. And part of the reason why I let people out is because, one, they've let me out in their pride and joy, but also like letting people experience it. You've never been in a Porsche before, you've never driven a Porsche before, have you?
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be a first time for me. That's alright. Just turn on the next one. But yeah, no, getting experience I'm really looking forward to as well.
That is going to take so much getting used to.
I'm the same when I jump between the daily and the Honda.
I bet, yeah, because your daily is a 335 BMW, isn't it?
Yeah, touring, love it.
Excellent.
For daily use. It's nowhere near as fun as this, but for daily use, it's perfect.
They're just so usable, aren't they?
Exactly.
What we should do at some point is do a comparison between your 335 and my X5, because ultimately it's the same N57 engine in it.
Correct.
Twin turbo in that one as well. Oh my god.
It is, yeah. One of my cars I've always wanted, I had the itch to buy and scratch that itch, so I bit the bullet last year and it's been good fun, but definitely a more of a daily cruiser. So you can see the VTEC comes in quite early compared to it. You can You haven't revved it all the way out.
I know, not even getting. I'm a bit apprehensive, you know. I always tend to baby the cars a little bit, purely because they're not mine. I just like to try and get up to standard or however we use it, you know. But
Go and enjoy it.
You wouldn't think that it was front wheel drive. It's just so absolutely composed on roads like this. This is an absolute joy to drive down.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Brakes are quite good as well for stock. Everyone's just stock Honda, stock Brembos, and I've never had, for my need, I've never needed to upgrade them. Whereas the EP3, I found it was just not good enough.
Right. How did it compare? How does it compare to the EP3?
Yeah, everything's just slightly better. Brakes, engine, sound, for me anyway, on this. The seats the standard EP3 seats are terrible. You have to get the Premier Edition Recaros or the JDM Recaros to actually enjoy it, or aftermarket Recaros, etc. The standard EP3 seats are just very poor. These again just hold you in, hug you in, and just give you a lot of confidence because you're not sliding around, hold you in your shoulders, hold you in your lower section as well. It's just good fun. Obviously, as mentioned, very thin, the suspension sort of manual, but still not bad.
It's absolutely incredible. It's so poised, man. It's absolutely poised. And the fact that the Brembos come as standard, the little slip difference comes as standard, it just adds to everything, doesn't it?
They just made this more special. Like they wanted to give it all the good bits.
Yeah. Every time. And how much of the work have you done yourself?
I fitted, I did all the suspension stuff, did all that work, did the airbox, did the RRC manifold, fitted this, replaced the steering wheel with that because that's been retrimmed as well. I've still got the genuine OEM logo one, but it was easy just to swap over. It's really one of the easiest things to do on the K20A VTEC, changing the steering wheel over.
And it just makes it so much more better knowing that you've done the work to it, you know what works went into it, you know the car better, don't you?
Exactly. The only things I didn't fit myself was the pulley bushes. Again, it was done with my mate, exhaust and the 421. He did all the work on that because obviously he's a mechanic, he's got the ramp.
That's good stuff. It's always good to have a mechanic in the know.
Don't get me wrong, some of the times there was a few swear words when I was fitting in the manifold. Because of the way they're fitted to the block, they're reverse threads. So you've actually got to use nuts to back the bolts out. It's not just a straight bolt into the block. But got there in the end, and I had an air leak when I fitted it, so I had to figure that out. But it was all learning stuff, you know, so gave it options to start. I mean, I'm no car guru in regards to mechanic work, but it managed to help me sort of do a lot of stuff myself and enjoy it.
The beauty is that it comes from an era where you can do the work yourself. It's not like modern cars that are quite restrictive, and ultimately the manufacturers want you to go into the dealership for all the work. You can do a lot of this stuff yourself, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to code anything. You don't have to. It's just very basic. It's bolts.
Bare bones driving experience, and even during this very short drive, I have barely touched this, and it has got so much more to give.
I know, it definitely hasn't. Unfortunately, the roads don't let you do what you really want to do.
They're not great. No, the road that I went on in the 991 was absolutely phenomenal. It was very smooth, there was very little potholes. Unfortunately, this road, I can't say the same for.
Definitely gives your feelings a go.
It definitely does. You can feel it shaking through your spine. But even these seats we were talking about earlier, there we go again.
There we go.
They just keep you so held in so well, don't they? And the lightness of that accelerator pedal.
What I love about the seats is even after you got chicken foot in them. No, but even after a long drive in the cars, I get out and I still feel refreshed. I don't feel like, oh geez, my back's killing me, and that. You know, I do feel like I get a good few hours and I'm fine.
And this steering wheel is beautiful to hold, actually,
simplistic,
Yeah, I find no buttons. It's got a good weight to the feeling, but it's not too chunky.
Yeah.
I find that more modern cars, the steering wheels are getting fatter and fatter. You're not getting as good as a grip on them, whereas this is it's a lovely leather to hold for a start, but it just feels so nice in the hands, man.
Yeah, I find the same with the Beamer. It's very, 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 very chunky compared to this, obviously. I've actually got a spoon steering wheel to go on this, but I like the comfort of an airbag if I need it.
Would you be sacrificing the safety aspect then
exactly,
if you went for that?
Just for a bit of seat points, as they would call it, you know?
Yeah. The thing is, you could potentially put it on for shows and then take
exactly.
it off.
Like I said, it's so easy on this car now. It's like literally 2 bolts in a plug, and it takes 5 minutes.
And do you do a lot of shows in it, Dan?
I've done a few. I did a show with the JDM Scotland guys last year and the JPSSE last year. Got a prize there as well, so I want to thank those guys.
Excellent. What did you win? What was your prize?
I can't remember what it was, but I got a trophy, and I wasn't expecting it because it was some amazing cars on the stand. I really found all the guys welcoming. I'm good friends with the JDM Scotland crowd, but the guys are obviously fantastic as well, and really welcoming, and do a great show as well. Done a few others down south, but now I'm sort of at the age where I'm also enjoying going for drives more, going and actually just using the car and driving with some friends.
Yeah.
Seeing Glencoe and other parts of Scotland, Glenshee, etc. So I really enjoy that as well.
Yeah, that's part of the beauty, isn't it? It's just getting out and using the car, experiencing it. It's good having a show car and all that sort of stuff, but as I was talking about with Charles and his 991.1, there's no point in owning a car if you're just going to sit and look at it.
Exactly, yeah. I've got to enjoy it. As I say, I only use it during the summer months, so I try to make the most use of it over those months. Then as soon as the winter comes in, you kind of don't see it for 6 months, then you don't get to enjoy it as much.
Yeah, and at least you've got a garage to be able to store it in, that you know that it's not getting left out to the element.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why I've probably kept it so long. It's just because I've got that luxury to have it away out of the elements, keep it rust free.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they start to get rusted, it's really expensive and a pain to fix. So for me, if I can try to avoid that, I will.
I can't go over just how beautiful that feels to change, man. It's very reminiscent actually of my Mark 1 MX5, the Unos that I had. That was also like a bolt action rifle as well.
Yeah, and like I said, probably my top 2 or 3 mods I've done on the car, just because, like I say, the old ones started to feel a bit past its best. Even when I took it apart, there was small plastic bushes that hold the shifter cables, and they were like almost crumbling.
Right.
Because obviously it's 20 odd years old.
Age. Yeah, totally.
So you can still buy stock ones, like OEM Honda ones, new. So if I ever decide to sort of put this car back to stock, I'd probably just buy another one and then take all the modifications off.
Yeah. Well, as we were talking earlier on, it's an enthusiast's car, and the vast majority of enthusiasts are going to want it as standard as possible if they're going to be buying one, aren't they?
Exactly. I think that's kind of where the value is. I've kept everything modified, but easy to put back if I need to. So exhaust I can just swap over because I've got the standard exhaust. Airbox I can just swap over because I've got the standard exhaust. I've still got the original wheel. This came with a single din hitch when I bought it, but I had this from my EP3. I swapped it over, and I'll probably leave that in the car because I think it makes the car look a little bit more modern.
It gives you, it gives you a bit more access to mod cons, doesn't it? Can you hook your phone up to that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just the same as
Google Maps and all that sort of
maps,
stuff.
Got sat nav, etc. all in it. Maps are probably about out of date now, but it still works. Does the job.
For me, the Porsche has still got the single din original radio and cassette tape from 1999, and certainly one thing I would be upgrading after I've got the respray done is getting a similar Kenwood or Alpine unit in there, just to be able to connect up to Spotify and having access to a DAB radio and all that stuff. But I can't go over how usable this is.
It's like a normal Honda. They just do everything really well.
It is
reliable,
very easy to drive, yep.
Comfortable, easy to drive, light steering wheel, obviously besides the hydraulic steering. But on the whole, it's just driving like a normal Honda, like a 1.4 almost, just with a bit of extra power.
The accelerator is just so light, isn't it?
That's why, again, you can just, once you drive a Honda, everyone gets slight dimmers and so forth, but once you drive one and you get to enjoy it on the back roads, in VTEC all the time, it's just, it's good. It's a good car to drive and have.
It's easy to see why they have such a following. As I was saying earlier on, my wife has a 2018 Honda Civic, the 1 litre one.
Yeah.
but in comparison, obviously this is an entirely different beast, but that's a very easy car to drive. You know, you're never going to stall it. The steering's very light, and this is very reminiscent of how easy this car is to drive. It is comparable to that Civic.
Exactly. I think having refreshed the suspension on some of the bushes and stuff makes it feel a little bit newer as well, because obviously old Honda bushes can start to perish as well.
Yeah.
So definitely think it does. You're going to find that balance. I've not got fully poly bushed for the reason obviously I don't want to feel like I'm getting my jaw dragged on the floor the whole time.
It's talking about what we're talking about earlier on, is having that balance and usability as well. You know, you do have to compromise certain things if you start chasing big numbers and more performance oriented drive.
I mean, I did think about supercharging this as well, but
that was a question I was going to ask. If you consider turboing it or supercharging it?
Both, yes. The thing is that you lose some of that Honda-ness.
Do you? Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal power and you know it's a lot more usable. My friend had a black supercharged DC5,
wow,
and it was insane. Like I'd be behind it and him going past, and I was like, that thing is a different animal. But again, then you're fighting your steering wheel more. You're always putting more strain on the engine. But I think a lot of folk go the supercharged route for trying to keep that NA sort of feeling, and the noise sometimes if they go Jackson racing. But road tricks is the one if you want to get more power. That's the one that most folk go for.
Because you can get anywhere upwards to 450, 500 brake horsepower.
Yeah, if you stick a turbo on these, you can get 500 fairly reliably. A lot of folk cap it down. It's the torque that normally kills them rather than the power. So
which is ironic too, because they don't have much torque when they're normally when they're not modded, eh?
Yeah, exactly. They really need. You could really do with a bit more torque. That's why a lot of folk go for the K24 if they want to keep NA. But yeah, for me, I'll stick with this until this goes. If it does go, I'll then go K24.
Excellent.
That's my goal.
That was phenomenal. Thank you very much for that,
man.
Absolute cracking motor, mate. Darren, wow, what an experience that was. Thank you very much for letting me out in my first Type R and experiencing VTEC for the first time.
My pleasure.
What an absolute cracking car that you've got here. The sound of it, the way it feels, the way it drives, it's just a hell of a car, and I can definitely see how Honda have such a following across the globe. 100%. What a hell of a car and a brilliant experience. Thank you very much for taking me out in it today.
My pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and first VTEC experience.
Excellent. How was it from the passenger seat?
It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but Mark had it covered, really respectful, and still got to enjoy a bit of VTEC and some handling on the twisties. So yeah, as long as you enjoyed it, I enjoyed it as well.
Excellent, man. I loved it. Absolutely one hell of an experience, man. Can't fault it. So guys, if you've liked today's video, make sure to call shotgun in the next one by liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
All the best.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thanks.
mate. Thank you. What a car, man. What a car.
Glad you enjoyed it, mate.